Let me tell you something. A man who lives alone, without a girlfriend, without distractions, without needing someone to complete him, is dangerous. Not because he's reckless, not because he's lost, but because he is focused. Society will tell you that you need someone, that being single means something is wrong with you, that if you don't have a woman by your side, you're incomplete. But let me ask you, since when did a man's purpose depend on someone else? See, a man who walks alone is a man who finds himself. He doesn't waste his time proving his worth. He builds his worth. And when the time is right, the right woman will see it. She will feel it. Not because he begged for her attention, but because he became a man worth noticing. So stay with me, because by the time this speech is over, you're going to understand why your solitude is not a curse. It's a season of power. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Weak men run from solitude because they fear their own thoughts. Strong men embrace it because they know it's where growth happens. When you live alone, you don't waste time seeking approval. You learn to be comfortable with yourself. You learn to face yourself. And once you master that, nothing, not rejection, not doubt, not loneliness can break you. A man with no distractions is a man with a dangerous level of focus. When you're not spending energy chasing relationships, you can invest that energy into something greater, your mind, your body, your future. Think about it. Some of the most powerful men in history had seasons of solitude where they disappeared to work, to build, to sharpen their skills. They weren't partying. They weren't wasting time. They were becoming unstoppable. What are you doing with your time? Too many men sit around waiting for the right woman, waiting for the perfect relationship, waiting for someone to come and validate them. But real men don't wait. They build. They wake up every day with one mission: to be better than they were yesterday, to stack their skills, to grow their mindset, to become stronger in their purpose. Because the truth is, if you don't build yourself first, you will always rely on others to give you meaning. And that is a dangerous way to live. Ever notice how the loudest men are the ones nobody takes seriously? The ones always talking about what they're going to do instead of actually doing it? Real respect is earned in silence. When you live alone and focus on your path, people start to notice. They see the results. They feel the energy you carry. They recognize that you're different. You don't have to prove anything. Your growth speaks for itself. You don't chase, you don't beg, you don't seek validation, and because of that, you become magnetic. The man who builds himself is always more attractive than the man who desperately looks for love. Women respect a man who knows who he is, who isn't dependent on anyone, who walks with confidence and direction. You don't need to be in a relationship to be valuable. You need a purpose to be valuable. And when you have that, the right people will come to you. Here's the truth. The woman who is truly meant for you will not come because you're waiting. She will come because you're ready. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. A weak man attracts weak relationships. A desperate man attracts toxic relationships. But a man who has built himself, who has grown, who has mastered himself, he will naturally find the right woman. Not by looking, not by chasing, but by being the kind of man that can't be ignored. So if you're alone right now, good. This is your time. This is your season. This is where you grow. This is where you build. This is where you become the man that people will talk about. The man that commands respect. The man who doesn't need to chase because he attracts. And when the time is right, everything else will fall into place. So Don't fear being alone. Use it, master it, and become unstoppable. A man who lives alone without a girlfriend is not lost. He is in a stage of transformation. There is a profound difference between being alone and being lonely, and that distinction determines whether a man rises or falls. Weak men run from solitude because they fear the silence, but strong men embrace it because they know silence is where the greatest growth occurs. It is in solitude that a man is forced to confront himself, to strip away distractions, and to face his thoughts, his ambitions, and his demons. The world teaches men that their value is tied to relationships, that their worth is measured by companionship. But the truth is, a man's worth is built in the moments when no one is watching. When a man is alone, he learns self-sufficiency. He realizes that his happiness, his drive, and his success are not dependent on another person.